Today's lesson is the median and range. What is the median? The median is the middle number or middle score, or the average of the two middle scores. So what does that mean? We understand the middle score, but what is the average of the two middle scores? What does that really mean? So let's have a look at the example here. So if I had, say, number 1 to 10, okay? Anyone jump in, tell me, what is the middle number of scores 1 to 10?
5.
5. Yes, that's a good guess, but let's have a look at that. I wrote 1 to 10 here in order. If you want to compare something, you need to write it, any data or scores, in order, okay? And then I'm just going to go cancel out each end to find the middle score. Aha. We end up with the two middle scores. So it's not really 5. It's not really 6. What is the middle number of 5 and 6? Anyone?
5.5.
5.5, correct. So how do we get 5.5? It's the middle of the middle, really, if you think about it. That's what it means by average of the two middle scores. So that means 5.5 is the average of the two middle score, 5 and 6. So 1 to 10 is 10 scores. So that's even. When you think about it, if there's an even number of scores, when you pair them out, you end up with the two numbers at the end, isn't it? Because it's an even number. But if I had 11 scores, when you pair them out from each end, you end up with just one score in the middle because it's odd. There is a little bit of a hint that you need to think about, predict. Depends on how many scores you have in that data, whether you will have one middle score, which is your median, or you will have two middle scores. Then you have to find the average of that two scores in order to find the median. So median is not exactly just the middle number, okay? Because also median is a single value. It says here single value. So you can have two middle numbers in a set of data, but you can't have two medians in a set of data because we will have to find the average of that two middle numbers in order to have median. Okay, so can you see the difference between median and middle number or middle numbers? Summary, I'm looking at the summary. When the scores are ordered, so you're writing in order, the median is the middle score if there is an odd number of scores, just like what we just did. Okay, so for example, let me see if I could give you an example. If I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers, which is odd, and what will be my middle number here? I'll just pair them out. Here you go. 3 is my middle number, which is also my median. So when you have 5 score, which is an odd number of scores, you will have only one middle number, which is your median. But if you had even number, you will end up with the two middle numbers. Then you have to find the average of that two middle numbers. Average will be you adding them together and halving it. That's what average is, because you're only dealing with two numbers, so you divide it by 2. So when you want to find the mean or average, you add up all the scores and divide it by how many numbers were there, right? But we only got 2 numbers, so you just divide it by 2. Let's learn more about median, okay? So we know median is a single value. You can't have more than one median, okay? And also it says the median does not depend on all of the scores in the data set. So it is not affected by outliers. So what does that really mean? Now, for example, the outliers means extremely high or extremely low. Okay, so I'm just gonna looking at median house price The reason we don't do average house price on each suburb, it might be misleading, because average, you have to add all the scores up together and then divided by how many scores were there. So even the outliers, extremely low, extremely high numbers, you have to add them all up and then you divide by. So the average will be affected, wouldn't it? So for example, in a house prices, some suburb, the highest was like, I don't know, a few $1 million. And then the lowest will be not even reaching the $500,000. But you have to add it all up and divide it by how many houses are sold at that time. It'll affect the average. But where's a median house price, if we're looking at, median is just looking at all the houses were sold, the prices, and then you just have to find the middle range of that selection. So it doesn't really matter about the extreme high price or extreme low price. It just gives you a middle idea. So more fair idea. So it's not as misleading as average, if you like. And also the median is often one of the scores, except we have to create the average. Then you can't really use the one that already have. You have to halve it. So you'll need to create one. So what I'm trying to say here about the housing price and all that is mean, the average is the only measure of the central tendency, for example, mean, median, mode, that is always affected by an outlier. But whereas a median or mode, which is the most common number, it doesn't really affect by outlier. Next one, the range. The range is a measure of the spread, how widely spread or not, of a set of data, and is simply the difference between the highest and the lowest scores. Okay, what does that really mean is if the higher the range, it means the gap between the highest and the lowest scores are bigger. So for example, in a factory, running shoes, the product they produce, the highest price shoes, running shoes, is a $350 a pair. And the lowest one is $50. So their range in that factory is $300. But the next door, other factory, they do the same running shoes, and their highest one is also $350, but their lowest price is $200. So their range is $150. Higher the range, which is the factory A, the gap between the highest and the lowest are bigger. That's obvious. Okay, so that's what it means. Okay, so let's have a look at the example. The ages of the members of the Zosa family are, if I pronounced it wrongly, I'm sorry about that, 3, 1, 25, 58, 26, 52, 30, 31, 11. And we need to find the median of that age group and the range. What is the first thing we need to do before we looking for a median and range? Anyone jump in, please.
You need to sort it from lowest to highest.
Excellent, good job. Put them in an order. When you put in an order, you have to be very careful about how many scores you have. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, there's 9 numbers. Now that's an odd number. How many middle numbers do you think we will have?
1.
Yes, because it's odd number. So we don't have to find the average of 2 middle numbers here. Okay, well, that's good. Now, I'm going to put it in order. 1, I want you to be careful. Just check what I'm doing. I could be wrong, so just help me out here. So 1, and I think it's 3, and 11, 25. Okay, I'm just going to do this. 25, 11, so it's easier for me. And then 26. And then I've got 30 and 31. and then 52, 58. Okay, so I've got that. All right, and then please make sure you got them all correct. So I'll count them all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I've got 9 as well. So that's all good. Now I can actually find the median by cancelling out from each end, pair them out. There. We know we are going to get just one middle number because it's odd number of data. So therefore, the median for this data is 26. Now I'm going to do the range. Okay, somebody jump in. What is my highest and what is my lowest scores?
1 and 58.
Yep, 1 and 58. Excellent, good job. We are not going to get negative. So you must do the range equals the bigger number, highest number, take away the lowest. So 57. So my range is 57. Example 7 now. The lap times in seconds of 6 cyclists were 12.5, 21.4, 10.5, 18.7, 12.9, 10.3. And we have to find the median and the range. Maddie, what's the first step we need to do?
Put them in order.
Excellent. So which one is the first one, do you think?
10.3.
Yes. So I'm going to put 10.3. All right, keep helping me out, Maddie, please. So what's the next one?
10.5.
Yeah, and keep going.
12.5.
0.5, yes.
12.9.
12.9, yes.
18.7.
18.7. Excellent. And the last one?
21.4.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Okay, so we got that. And let's have a look how many scores we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Aha. Someone jump in and let me know how many middle scores will we have?
2.
2. Excellent. So we need to find the average of that. Okay, so I'm going to pair them out to find the median. So 1. Aha. That's what we're going to get. So I need to find the median of that.
Miss, is it 12.7?
Excellent. Very good. Yes, it is. Because you can actually say, you know, from 5 and 9. Is that what you did?
Yeah.
Yes, yes. So 12.5 all the way to 9, I could just say, you know, 12.6, 12.7, 12.8, 12.9. So what Gemma did, she just did that. Okay. But just in case, if you need to know other way of doing it, so I'm just going to add these together, these two middle numbers, and then find the average. And when you do that with your calculator, you will get 12.7. Okay, so there's another way of doing it. I mean, if it's as simple like this, you can just count it and then find the middle. So that's another way of doing it. Now the range. Oh, let's go and have a look. Which one is my highest and which one is my lowest? Anyone?
10.3 and 21.4.
Excellent. Thank you very much. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have to find the difference of the two scores. Range equals 21.4. Make sure you take away from the bigger number because we do not want to have a negative here. Somebody calculate for me, please.
11.1.
Yep, you are correct. Excellent. That's all the lesson for today. Well done, people. That was great.